and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is so exciting because it is my first ever collab. I'm doing a collab with my friend here on YouTube. I actually met her through Pink Branch Training. I don't know if you guys have seen that vlog. If you haven't, I will link it down below. She's in it. Her name is infinitelycindy. I will have her video linked right here. She is seriously so cute. She has an amazing vlog channel also, which is Infinitely Vloggin'. I'm an avid viewer and subscriber, so if you're not already, you should be too, because she's just, I don't know, she makes you happy to watch her for some reason. She's just seriously so cute. So go check her video out, because today we have created 2 perfect fall looks for you guys. Robot. I'm just really feeling like the crimson. You know, you got 1, 2, 3. It's excessive and it's fine. I have an entire half dozen of cinnamon apple cider donuts in the corner that I'm gonna eat after I'm done filming this video. If you guys are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. It would make me super happy. If you guys are already subscribed to my channel, thank you. I love you, and I promise a dorm tour is coming soon. I keep saying it and I keep forgetting. And I'm playing with a fuzz. Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing is priming my skin with the Hangover RX primer from Too Faced. I honestly think I just like this because it smells like coconuts, but it's really good for your skin. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. I'm in the shade Vanilla. I really like this stuff because it covers really well, but it doesn't look too cakey or unnatural on the skin. It looks nice and natural, and it has a really nice finish that's like kind of in between dewy and kind of in between matte, which I'm all about. So I'm just putting a decent amount of that all over my skin. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid highlight on my cheekbones. I'm using the MAC Luster Drops in the shade Pink Rebel. I like adding just a little bit of liquid highlight onto my cheekbones to give me that extra pop when I go ahead and put on powder highlight. I just think it makes a real big difference. So I like to put that on my cheekbones and a little bit on my nose. Voila! So for under eye concealer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I'm using the shade Light Neutral, and this is a little bit too orange for me. So I'm just going to take this and put this in the very inner corner of my eye to cancel out any blue tones that I have. To create kind of that highlighted look, I just like to take the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15 and put this underneath my whole under eye in like a triangle shape. I also like to bring it down my nose and a little bit on my chin. For powder, I'm using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me powder in the shade number 110. I really like using this powder because it just gives me a nice matte finish without drying out my skin, and girl got some dry skin. So now I want to add some life back into my face, so I'm going to be using my Lorac Pro Contour Kit, and I'm just going to be taking the light contour shade and contouring my cheekbones. I also like to go ahead and contour my forehead and my chin / jawline. And I like to take a whole separate brush for blending out my contour, just so I can make it really nice and blended. To highlight, I'm going to be using that same contour kit, but I'm going to be using the beige and yellow highlight. It likes to mix them together, and I just put that directly under my eyes. I also like to bring it onto my nose and onto my forehead and chin. And then the last thing that I like to do is take a little bit of the beige highlight and put that directly under my contour. I just feel like this makes your contour pop and makes it a little bit cleaner looking. For blush, I've actually been loving blush lately, which is something that isn't usually very me. I usually don't love blush that much, but I'm going to be using the Bella Pierre Cosmetics blush in the shade Autumn Glow. It's like a mineral blush. It's really pretty. And then another thing that I've been liking to do lately is going in with the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection palette. I'm taking this shade here. This is a blush in the shade Amaretto. I like to use this as sort of like a bronzer blush situation, so I just put it on both of the areas where I would put blush and bronzer. Just really warms up the skin and gives a nice pretty glow. We all know this is my favorite part. It's time to highlight. I'm using this same palette, the Champagne Glow Collection palette by Jaclyn Hill and Becca, and I'm just taking a little bit of champagne pop. Not a little, kind of a lot, but you know, it's good. And I'm just going to be popping this on the tops of my cheekbones, and I like to smile and like find the apples in my cheeks. and then put a little there as well. And then I'm just going to put it on my nose and my cupid's bow. A little bit on my forehead and a little on my chin. I like to take a little bit of Prosecco Pop and put that directly on the very, very top parts of my cheekbone, more towards like my temple area. And that shade I like to bring up to my temple. So now I'm going to do my brows because they're bothering me. I just keep staring at them in the viewfinder and they're driving me nuts. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Brow Definer, and I'm in the shade Blonde. Moving on to eyeshadow. The first thing that I'm going to do is set my eyes. So I'm just taking a little bit of the powder that I used before to set my face, the matte and poreless, and I'm just putting that all over my eye just so that the shadows can blend really nicely. I know, I'm very up close and personal, but I wanted you guys to be able to see what I'm doing better. So I'm using the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I know, if you're on the fence about buying it, buy it. I'm using the shade Raw Sienna, which is like a really pretty transitional shade, and I'm just putting that in my crease, and I'm bringing it all the way in to the inner part of my crease. So now I'm going to go in with Burnt Orange, which is very similar, just a little bit more on the orangey side. And I'm just bringing that in the same place that I put Burnt Sienna. The next thing I'm doing is I'm taking Real Gar, which is like this really vibrant orange color, and I'm taking that on a denser brush, and I'm gonna just put that in the very center of my crease. I don't want to blend this out too much because I don't want this color to go everywhere. I want it like in a really precise line on my crease, just to give sort of a cut crease effect, but not as intense as a cut crease. I'm going to go in with the shade Cypress Umber. Now this is a really deep brown shade, and I'm just going to put this in the very outer portion of my eye, and I'm slowly going to bring that in a little bit further just to define it even more. So I'm going back in with the shade Burnt Orange just to keep making sure that everything is nice and blended and warm looking. I'm going to go back in with Cypress Umber, and I'm just going to put this on the very outside of my eye and blend it in a little bit more. So I'm going back in with Burnt Orange, and I'm blending everything out. So now I'm taking a really tiny definer brush, and I'm grabbing the shade Red Ochre, and I'm just going to put that directly in my crease, creating more of a cut crease effect. But again, still not doing anything as dramatic as a cut crease, but I'm just placing that there for that effect. I'm blending everything out with the shade Burnt Orange just to give everything a really nice warm effect, so I'm doing that once again. For the actual eyelid, I'm using the shade Primavera, which is a super pretty gold color. I'm obsessed. For the inner corner, I'm taking the shade Vermeer, and I'm just going to put that right in the inner corner and extend it into the inner third of my eye. I'm going to add a little bit more of Red Ochre. This time I'm using the E13 brush from Morphe. It's just like a really nice kind of angled fluffy brush, and it's just gonna add a perfect amount of that red shade. Okay, so I'm mixing these shades Tempera and Golden Ochre to create like a nice tan color, and that's what I'm gonna set my brow bone with. I'm going to be using Real Gar, again that really pretty orange color all over the lower lash line, and I'm gonna be taking Red Ochre on the outer part of my eye. I'm going in with Primavera on the inner third of my lower lash line. For the lower lash line, I want to add a little bit of eyeliner, so I'm going in with ColourPop's liner in the shade Get Paid. Get paid, young nigga, get paid. I just almost forgot like 8 million key steps, so like fire me. It's time for glitter. I'm going to be using the Stila Magnificent Metals what is this, an eyeshadow? Yes, it's an eyeshadow. In the shade Kitten, but I'm not going past my crease. So once I get to my crease, nothing else is allowed to go up there. To go on top of that, I'm using my favorite glitter ever, which is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Eyeliner in the shade Midnight Cowboy. I think it's Rises Again. I'm extending that onto my lower lash line and my inner corner. Now it's time for eyeliner. I'm using Jordana Fabuliner because it's my favorite. I'm just gonna do like sort of a baby wing, sort of. Lashes, the absolute most stressful part about makeup ever. I'm using these really sassy, really dramatic, a little bit excessive lashes from Kiss in the shade Flirty. I love these, don't get me wrong, but every time I put them on, I'm like, ooh girl, no, I need to take those off. Those are too dramatic, and then gradually as the night goes on, I'm like, no, I love these. I just like to coat my lashes in mascara. And then my trick is just hold your lashes together with the fake ones. For my lips today, I am using the Sephora liquid lipstick in the shade number 14. I believe this is Berry Sorbet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Bye. Bye.